What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the video. I'm your host, Mason Ramon, and this is Football Picks News Division Game-a-thon. Starting off with our Division Game-a-thon today, AFC East. Guys, a division game of their own. And we're bringing back the Buffalo Bills once more, this time going against the New York Jets in their very own division game. I'm taking a look at the number of picks that we got for these two guys here. It's not the most anticipated, approximately 14,000 picks. Still counting right now until the game starts. 25% are going for the Jets, and 75% of those picks are going for the Buffalo Bills. Now, zooming out here to the map, you can still see that the whole map is covered in blue, but it's getting a little clearer now as the weeks are going by that the momentum for the Buffalo Bills, they're starting to go down. And looking over here in the state of New York, you can see that they're not fully decided yet if they're rooting for Buffalo or the Jets. 800 picks, but 65% of that pick are going for Buffalo. So it has a leaning vote towards the Bills. But momentum for the New York Jets within the state of New York, they're starting to climb up there. Along with several other states across the country like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland. They're not fully decided on who to vote for or who to pick for this game. But Buffalo Bills Mafia, they still believe in the Bills, and they're hoping that, this week they'll come out with a nice win. Now, looking at the standings for the AFC East division, nothing has really changed with their spots. The Bills are still in second, 5 wins, 5 losses. They've been losing quite a bit the past couple of weeks. And the Jets, they're still in third with 4 wins and 5 losses. If the Jets somehow beat the Bills, they'll manage to be in second place, and Buffalo will go down to third. But I'm hoping that Buffalo doesn't lose. I know I'm biased. Moving on to the AFC North division. Got a highly anticipated game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. Now, what exactly am I talking about when I mean highly anticipated? Well, take a look at the number right here. Got approximately 22,000 picks. That's a pretty large number for a division game. 45% are going for the Steelers and 55% are going for the Browns. This may be the tightest map I have ever presented to you guys. If you take a good look here at Ohio, it's pretty evident that the people of Ohio, they made their decision on, who they're picking. 1,700 picks, 75% of that pick are going for the Cleveland Browns. So those people in Ohio, they definitely made their decision on who they're going for. But the rest of the country, very, very tight. I don't know, man. It seems Pennsylvania itself, New York, and Oklahoma, they're rooting for the Steelers, but they're not fully decided yet. Same thing with Texas, Florida, Alabama. They're going for the Browns somewhat. 6 states, 50-50, Maryland, North Carolina, Indiana, Kansas, North Dakota, and Idaho. All of those are going 50-50. They don't even know who to pick for this game. This is how tight these two teams can get. This is how great this rivalry has become. Now, the Steelers and the Browns, nothing much has changed with this division either. 6-3, 6-3 for both teams. Steelers are in first and the Browns are in third. However, if the Browns manage to beat the Steelers, then they'll go up to second. So we don't know if they're really going to move up or not. We'll have to wait and see until the game comes out. Last for the AFC, we have the Southern Division. They got a game going on for themselves. Jacksonville versus Tennessee. Yeah, we got another Jacksonville Jaguars game. It's I don't know. I lost my train of thought here for a second, you guys. My apologies. 13,000 picks. Not sure why this one isn't as highly anticipated as the rest of them, but it's overwhelmingly, everyone's rooting for Jacksonville. 85% of their pick are going for Jacksonville, and the map of the United States is very clear, and it shows. The only difference with this map is the state of Tennessee. They're not fully decided. and it is completely gray. That means it's at 50-50 with approximately 300 people from that state picking the game, and they don't know who to decide for. They don't know if they want to go for Jacksonville or if they want to go for their state team of Tennessee Titans. But the rest of the country have overwhelming support for Jacksonville. Other than the state of Ohio, which they're leaning towards Jacksonville, Tennessee does have a little bit of momentum up in there, but other than that, it's all Jacksonville at this point. Now, if we take a better look over here at the standings, we can see what we mean here. Jacksonville is up in first place. Last time we covered a division game from these guys, Jacksonville was down in third. Now that belongs to Indianapolis. The Titans are 3 wins, 6 losses. They're in fourth place. And Jacksonville, they're up on the top. So if Jacksonville manages to beat Tennessee, they're going to keep their spot and remain the Southern AFC leader. Moving on to the NFC. Eastern Division game. It feels like yesterday since I covered these guys. The New York Giants are going at the Washington Commanders once again. Now this game here, it's a little bit similar to the last game I just covered here. We got approximately 13,000 picks and counting. Same round number for this one. 20% are going for the Giants, 80% for the Commanders. So pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing as the other game. Overwhelming support for the Washington Commanders, but there's a little bit of momentum up by the New York area for the New York Giants. However, the people who are picking there are still leaning towards the Commanders. But I guess for the people of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Vermont, there's still a little bit of hope left for the Giants, even though over at the standings here, coming up right now, we'll say otherwise. So for Washington and New York, the standings of Washington, they're in third with 4 wins, 6 losses, and the Giants, 2 wins, 8 losses. Nothing's really going to change that much if either team wins or loses. Maybe that's why this game isn't as anticipated as if Dallas and Philadelphia were going at it. Because, both these teams, they're not really doing the best, and they're not in the playoff picture either. Next up, NFC North. NFC North's got a division game of their own, and oh nilly, it is the Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions. Looking at over here, this game, we got some carnivore chaos going on. 19,000 picks going on here. This one's a pretty anticipated one. 15% going for the Bears, 85% going for the Lions. Zoom out here, you can see it's kind of the same thing as the last one. Overwhelming support for the Detroit Lions because they've been completely annihilating the NFC North. And even in the state of Illinois, 1,000 people picked, but they can't decide who to pick for. 50-50, it's for the Bears and the Lions. And this is a bit of a crazy week this week, you guys, for division games and all that stuff, because we haven't... It's like everyone decided who to vote for, decided who to pick for this game. Even though Iowa and Indiana, those guys, they're leaning towards the Lions. There's some momentum for the Bears in there, but still, all across the country, overwhelming support for the Lions, and it's more than likely that the Lions are going to win because they have been doing really, really good this season. Now take a look at the standings, you'll see why. The Lions are still in first place with 7 wins and 2 losses. The Vikings are starting to make a comeback with 6 wins and 4 losses. Green Bay in third, but the Bears are still down on the bottom with 3 wins and 7 losses. The Bears better get their stuff together, otherwise they are not going to make it in the playoff picture. They probably don't have a chance at this point, but the Lions, they actually are in the playoff picture. And last but not least, the NFC West. The NFC West, we got a pretty interesting one. We have the Seattle Seahawks versus the Los Angeles Rams. Seattle and Los Angeles, looking over at the number of picks here, not as anticipated as the other ones. 15,000 for this game, and 65 are going for Seahawks, and 35% are going for Rams. Zoom out, check out the map. Not exactly the same thing as all the other maps, but there is a bit of overwhelming support for the Seattle Seahawks. But momentum for the Los Angeles Rams are there. Looking at the state of California, for example, approximately 1,800 people picked, and 55% are leaning towards the Seahawks, but momentum for the Rams are still there. Even up in the home state of the Seahawks, Seattle, Washington, they have a really good amount of support there, going at approximately 90% for the Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks actually have been doing surprisingly really good this season. The Rams, not so much, even though they are a Super Bowl champion. Both of the teams are, by the way. Both teams are Super Bowl champions. Now, zoom over at the standings for both. You can see why the Seahawks are doing good. They're at 6 wins and 3 losses, the same record as the San Francisco 49ers. Rams are at 3 wins and 6 losses. It may not matter too much after the game. But if the Seahawks beat the Rams, and if the San Francisco 49ers beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if I'm not mistaken, then the Seahawks will be in first place and become the NFC West leader. Coming up next, Monday Night Football, Super Bowl 57 rematch. Philadelphia Eagles versus Kansas City Chiefs. It felt like it was yesterday since I've seen these two guys go at it at the Super Bowl, but now I'm able to see these two guys again on Monday Night Football on ABC or ESPN. If you guys want to make your picks, head over to yahoosports.com/NFL, make your picks before the game starts. And when your game starts, if you got a team that you personally enjoy, please don't take it personal if they lose. Enjoy yourselves and enjoy the game. Mason Ramon out.